Did you know that we, as human beings with a human brain, have absolutely no say in whether we are programmed? Most of the time, this is by default, society, our culture, parents and family, the media, authority figures. But we absolutely do have a say when we have this awareness of what, who we allow to program us and how we are programmed. So, welcome to this first episode in a monthly series I am going to call Positive Programming for Cancer, where you will hear real life, true, inspirational stories of cancer patients who had the odds completely stacked against them and found a way to not only survive but thrive. How did they do it? What made them special? In some cases, it's clear. In others, not so much. Either way, the more you hear these types of positive stories, the more your brain hears these types of positive stories, the more you will come to believe and know that it's possible for you too. Because if they can do it, so can you. Hi, my name is Dr. Lisa Matejka. I'm a naturopathic physician, energy worker, and transformational life coach, and I help those who are on their cancer journey navigate back to health and wellness to an even better state than before by awakening their own innate healing abilities and improving themselves not only physically, but mentally, emotionally, energetically, and spiritually. And yes, today we are going to be starting this, what I think, very important process of positively programming ourselves for success. And so let's go back to 2009, Forbes magazine of all places. They had the special section, this highlighted featured section of terminal cancer patients, ordinary people who achieved the extraordinary. They defied logic and managed to heal themselves. And if they can do it, so can you. Sharon Belvin, 22 years old, from Janesville, North Carolina, was diagnosed with melanoma a week before her wedding. And this lesion was found in her lung, meaning it had already made its way beyond the skin and was resistant to most chemo. Still, she was put on standard conventional treatment for 2 years with no results, and in fact, got tumors in both of her lungs, melanoma tumors. She shortly then thereafter was put on an experimental immunotherapy drug, and her tumors began to shrink and shrivel and were completely gone by the end of that year. 4 or 5 years later, she's completely off any treatment, healthy and well, mother and wife. So, what was this miracle drug? This immunotherapy drug? Was it that? Well, it was later found as it made its way to the last phase of its normal process of clinical trials that it was only helpful in 10% of melanoma patients. So, was it the drug or was it the placebo effect? Or was it her strong will and her why? I mean, she was just about to get married and wanted to start a family. Maybe it's both of those things. I guess we'll never really know because this was a short snippet in a conventional magazine like Forbes, so they didn't exactly dive any deeper. But I have my suspicions. Joseph Reck, 43 years old, from LA, was also diagnosed with melanoma, which started as a purplish pimple on the lower of his back and then spread to his colon. After 9 surgeries, 40 rounds of chemo during 2 years, that had all failed, and he was filled with dozens of tumors. So Joseph, 43-year-old high school teacher, was given 4 months to live. He actually bought his grave plot and expected to die. Lost massive weight and could hardly walk. Then he heard about this new miracle drug, this immunotherapy drug, similar to the one Sharon was on. So he asked his doctor, got in on the trial, and after just one infusion, tumors started disappearing on his thigh and his neck. And shortly after, all his tumors disappeared. He gained his appetite back, his strength, and he ended up being completely well again. He returned back to work and cried when he saw that first sunrise back at work. So, was it the miracle drug? Well, actually, later on, it was also in its last phase clinical trial and proven to be no more effective than chemo. And remember, he did all sorts of the chemo, and it was proven to be no more effective than that. Never even made it to the market. So could it be the placebo effect, as Joseph deteriorated when he expected to die, and then he kind of perked up and had hope when he discovered this new experimental drug? Something to think about. Either way, these stories happen all the time. People are given death sentences and they live. And these are people that didn't seem to do or be aware or just didn't do natural treatments at all. So imagine how much more powerful things can be when you do. Anyways, you don't need to do some crazy experimental drug to get this placebo-like effect. You can actually intentionally be your own placebo and cause that at will. I highly recommend the book by Dr. Joe Dispenza, You Are the Placebo. It's a perfect addition to anyone that is struggling with any kind of health thing, how you can actually program your mind and body to heal. And another thing I totally recommend and suggest reading is something that I created, my free gift. It's either an article or a short ebook. I don't know which one. It's like 38 pages. Article I wrote, short ebook, free gift you can find by clicking in the description box below. There is a link, and it is called The 10 Common Healing Factors Among Cancer Survivors Who Beat the Odds. So it's literally the perfect complement to this video. It is based on decades of research by Kelly A. Turner on what those who had a spontaneous remission from cancer, what they had in common. And so you may even notice some things that were similar in some of these stories, such as when I theorized, I didn't just pull it out of my ass, when I theorized that perhaps Sharon survived because she had a strong why, because she was moving towards something she wanted. That's in there. So go check out that article. And yeah, that's it for now. So tune in to more of these monthly, but I do have weekly videos. So follow, comment, all that good stuff so we can reach even more people. And thank you for being here. And you can do it. You can heal yourself. Much love. Bye-bye.